take free candy at the gym?
Never. Or this guy's handing out free samples of protein powder because it's not protein powder.
I understand. Guys, welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac. Don't take protein powder from strangers, Anderson.
I am Tyler. I did that, Keen.
And that's why he turned out the way he did. This is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
And every single thing in between. Guys, thank you so much for watching so far. We really do appreciate every single one of you that are watching, especially you, Corey. You leave comments.
Corey's here. Where's
and all
Corey?
these people, do you believe we have a lot of people in Bristol, United Kingdom?
Bristol?
Yeah,
I thought that was in Tennessee. I've been there. They had a Dairy Queen.
Well, that's just ignorant. But, guys, speaking about straight up ignorance, Neil Patrick Harris is going to be in The Matrix 4.
What? I did not like any of that sentence, man.
Okay, so this came out a little earlier last week. Earlier this week, sorry. The Matrix 4 we've talked about a little bit. We've covered that a good deal. I think we know how we both stand on that. But what do you think about Neil Patrick Harris being cast in this movie?
If it's a comedy parody of like the first three, I'll watch it.
Okay, well,
or if how cool would it be if this is actually Harold and Kumar escape from a computer?
That would suck.
I would love to see that.
Cal Penn's too busy advising presidents and whatnot. You know, apparently that's what he does. That's kind of crazy. But Neil Patrick Harris, I like his acting for the most part. I mean, I haven't really got to see him in a whole lot that's been serious. It's mostly just whimsical kind of musicals and like How I Met Your Mother. And Doogie Howser. Or
like very, very, very hilarious versions of himself. Oh my gosh, the Harold and Kumar. The best part about it is Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, well, I mean, like stuff like that. I haven't seen him take on a very like an actual serious dramatic role or anything like that. And granted, if you put some shades on the dude, I'm pretty sure he would probably look like some sort of Agent Smithy kind of thing. He won't look as quite science fiction-y as Hugo Weaving, but I can already see him, being, Agent Smith-esque kind of character. I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about The Matrix 4 as a general movie. So Lana Wachowski, the director of the movie, is coming back.
Oh, no.
Let's just say sibling. Sibling is not coming back. And Keanu Reeves and, what's her name? Carrie, I can't even think of her last name.
Oh, Moss.
Carrie Moss, yes. Is it Katie Moss or Carrie Moss?
Carrie Moss.
It's one of the two. She was in that movie. But what do you think? Are you excited to see them back at all?
No.
Why not?
I don't like The Matrix.
You don't like The Matrix?
Well, it started sucking after the second and third one.
Well, do you not like the first movie? The first movie's pretty solid.
Yeah, the first movie is passable. Second one was one of those things you're thinking like, oh, I must get really high to enjoy this. Maybe the third one will make sense, and then the third one makes less sense than the second one. And you're like well, maybe if I smoke what they were smoking, maybe I'll understand and what's going on here. And you realize like they weren't on anything but hormones.
Okay, I'll give that one to you. That was a good joke. Yeah. That was a good joke. Quality joke. I think as long as they don't go to the philosophical, like.
Oh, you just want to make sense. Is that what it is?
I just don't want it to be, a cool action scene, a decent story plot, and an hour and a half of philosophical nonsense.
See, that's why I believe the first Matrix was unintentionally good on their part. Like it was. I can't explain it. What was good had nothing to do with them. I had the feeling that by accident they made a good movie.
Well, they know how to make a solid movie for the most part.
Give me another solid one they made. Jupiter Sydney? Is that Speed Racer? Is that yeah, there we go, man. Yeah, you can't think of when your brain's about to explode. Don't think too hard on it because it's impossible. The answer is no. Their only good decent film was on accident too. I guarantee you, probably if they had, I got the feeling it was like they just like. They didn't get a lot of freedom to do what they wanted. The studio was like interfering in it, and they're like, "Oh, this was so good, we made so much money. You do a sequel, do what you want to do," and it's just horrible.
Well, you're probably right.
It got Lucas.
Okay. Well, yeah. Final thoughts on this?
I'm not watching it.
I most likely watch it. I'm not very excited about it. It's probably going to be a soft reboot of The Matrix. I like the first Matrix movie. They shouldn't touch it.
I want to watch this film like I want a pet tapeworm. I'm not going to say that. That's how I want to say that.
Well, speaking about pet tapeworms inside your stomach and eating yourself alive, Dolittle trailer just came out.
Oh my gosh, and it looks amazing.
It looks so great, Tyler.
Oh my
Let me
gosh.
tell you right now, January is quite the month for movies. All those little gems that you find come out in January.
Absolutely. Now, what's your favorite January movie?
My favorite January movie? Call to Hunch. I think it's going to be this one.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sirree.
I mean, that doesn't include, my old favorites like The Legend of Hercules, that Resident Evil movie that came out.
Absolute winner. Amazing
And,
film.
what was that other one that came out? Oh, yeah, that Steven Seagal movie back from 2002.
Oh,
Fantastic.
yeah. Not the one that he's on the ship.
Yeah, he's on something that rhymes. But, Tyler, in all seriousness, what did you think about this trailer?
Okay. It's probably going to be about on the same par as the original one, but the original one gets a pass because people remember it from their childhood. It's not a good movie, nor this will be.
So this one got my attention because, of course, garbage movies come out in January, and this trailer looked like a joke, by the way. The CGI in this...
Wait, this is real? This is not Funny or Die?
This is not a Funny or Die skip. This is a real thing, and this is... if you heard the dialogue, what they're saying, we can't play it because we don't want to get pulled off YouTube and Facebook, but it's just so not good. It's very January-ish, but the biggest thing for it, you expect January movies like this to come out in January, but the biggest thing is it has a lot of big-name actors. I think we have a sheet with all the actors that are going to be in this right now. Yeah, look at all these actors.
Goodness gracious.
Look at all these big names.
Look at all those Academy Awards up there.
Well, I mean, John Cena, what a Academy Award-winning actor. Ralph Fiennes is in it, Octavia Spencer, Rami Malek, Emma Thompson, Craig Robertson, big difference. Tom Holland, Marion Cotillard, a lot of big names, and a lot of names that you would know. And Robert Downey Jr., arguably the biggest actor on earth, that just got out of probably the biggest movie of all time, is the star of this movie, and it looks like it was shot on the weekend. And it was look at this poster. I want you to all look at this poster.
Are you telling me this is a talking animal movie that had nothing to do with Adam Sandler?
It probably. I guarantee when we watch this, it's probably going to have Happy Madison in the credits.
Yeah.
But this trailer, this poster looks like somebody stood in for Robert Downey Jr. because he was busy this day. He couldn't make it to take this photo, and they photoshopped something from Sherlock Holmes on here. And that this is like another guy that's like sitting in place of Mr. Robert Downey Jr. And these photos of these animals look like Robert Downey Jr.'s daughter played around with Photoshop. Like it looks like hot garbage. I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts on this before we go on?
Did you know that it's made by his own production studio?
Are you being for real?
It's on production. It's the second film. The first one was the Judge, the one about Robert Downey Jr. goes to meet his father.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, this is the second film in his whole production company.
Well, goodness, Robert Downey. Hopefully, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Beef up the CGI. It looks
maybe
like
it sucks real bad. He'll renew his contract with Marvel.
Well, it looks like Norm of the North. If anybody's ever seen Norm of the North.
Oh my gosh! Do not watch that film. I'm
Look
warning
at that
you.
duck. There's nothing realistic that's about as realistic as my girlfriend, and which is pretty darn unrealistic. I mean, that's well, that's not true. It exists, but. Speaking about existence, Jungle Cruise just came out with a trailer too.
This film, if I believe correctly, is based off of another ride or attraction from Disney World.
Yeah, so this movie's going to star The Rock and Emily Blunt as two characters.
On a jungle cruise.
On a jungle cruise, can I say?
Yeah.
That's right. So, the trailer goes on, and wacky antics, woo, falling out a window in England, look. And now Disney logo, and then The Rock's going to be here, and it's basically the ride that you experience at Disney. But then it's going to get crazy and actually start happening. This one, he's like a big scam artist.
Actually, no, it looks like he invented the world's first roller coaster, kind of like the.
He's trying to give them an experience, but
ride,
he's kind of scamming them at the same time, kind of trying to say they're having all these experiences and they're not.
So this is a meta. It's pretty much what happens at Disney.
Well,
the Disney roaster.
Yeah, it's basically the Disney coaster and all the plot points. I think basically it's going to go through. This is just like the real ride that you experience at Disney. And then afterwards, it's going to be basically the same plot points, but they're going to be happening on a much larger scale and a much more wacky scale, because the whole plot revolves around Emily Blunt's character having to go search for this treasure or something.
Yeah, it's the
And
Black
then-
Pearl. She's looking for the Black Pearl.
Yeah, of course. And then she's like, The Rock, you own a ship. You cheap. You take? And he says, I do. And then wacky antics. Yeah.
I wonder if they were filming, if he filmed this like in between takes of Jumanji 2. That's my question.
Probably, it's kind of like Cameron Mitchell, like near the end of his life, he just got people coming in his house like 4 times a day, and he just sits on his couch and does things. That's how The Rock's kind of is. He's like, he has one like piece of land that he shoots all his stuff on, and like one film crew comes in, he doesn't even have to change his shirt.
Yeah.
He just kind of like, he just keeps going.
Because it was like, oh, right next to us, they're filming that Jungle Cruise. I'm walking there to see if I can get a part in the movie. So
Maybe so. But this
I got a
movie was
feeling that's what
directed
it was
by Jaume Colette Serra. And I don't have a photo or anything of him, but like I looked up before the show started. He directed The Commuter, Unknown, The Shallows, and Nonstop. So 3 of those movies are Liam Neeson projects that are basically taken, Diet Taken is basically what I like to call those movies. And the other one's The Shallows, which was obviously the shark movie with Ryan Reynolds' wife. What's her name?
Amber, no, it's not.
Blake Lively?
Yeah, Blake Lively. I was about to say Scarlett Johansson, but I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah, it's the other blonde.
Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, she's not blonde.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't even know what she's up to now. But anyway, yeah, this is a thing.
She got dumped by Ryan Reynolds. That's what happened.
Oh, that was the thing? I
Yes, it
didn't know
was.
about that. But yeah, this is the director that knows a lot of action stuff. He can make basic beats. Usually with these movies, as you say, when one of the best phrases you ever said in the show, I'm like, who do you think is going to direct this movie? It's like a reboot or something. He's like, probably some foreign director with a slash through with an O in his name that's directed like an indie movie in Sweden and nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is not really the case in this one. Apparently he's made movies that have made, that were like basic movies.
I could just like imagine it though. He's got like a little tiny village in like Sweden, and they just helicopter their way in there, and it's just everybody's like freaking out because they've never seen a helicopter before. And it comes down, and they go to this little hut, and they're like, "We want you to make a movie." And he's like, "What?"
He's not like a
It was like
rural citizen. He's a civilized person.
It kind of reminds me of like the beginning of Jurassic Park, where he helicopters in there, and everybody's like freaking out, and he lands down there and offers them a lot of money. It's kind of like Mickey Mouse just jumps out the plane and goes, "We're gonna give you money. Come make our movie."
Look, you're a safe bet. We're gonna give you lots of money. Oh, how are you good for $10,000? How much is that in my currency? Doesn't matter. Woo!
You want to be a star, don't you?
We're gonna rob you. Woo! Sorry, man. I know that was probably very loud.
And then they crush his career because the movie, he's in way over his head.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be something. But yeah, any final thoughts on this before we go on?
Probably not going to do well.
Heard. Just like me with the ladies.
I know, buddy.
But speaking about extreme failure, Jonah Hill passed on his role in the Batman.
I actually read this wrong when I first glanced at it up there.
Well, you can't say really what you wanted to say, even though it's not a very raunchy term. We're just not allowed to say that. Dude is the FCC.
He passes on the Batman side.
Yeah, it passes pass.
Yeah.
Just use your imagination, guys. What do you think about this, man?
So a 2-time Academy Award nominated actor turned down the Batman. Probably not looking too good right now.
Well, Tyler, I don't know if you knew this. I mean, see, I think everybody knows that Marvel movies are just like bottom of the barrel garbage.
Oh, bottom of the barrel garbage. Yes, they are.
But like, DC is like the thinking man's Marvel.
It's intellectual. Intellectual.
DC.
It makes you think.
It's kind of like, I would say, in my opinion, DC is kind of like Orson Welles meets James Cameron. That's why I look at it as a big action and big set pieces, sloppy garbage dialogue, but with class.
Well, so, yeah, because it makes me think. It makes you home and you think about like, why in the hell would the studio do that? Like, what were they thinking? Why'd they hire that person? Whoever did this casting needs to be like get old Yeller behind a building. So this is a horrible idea.
Well, see, DC, like you said, it raises a lot of questions when you're watching it. Just kind of like, what's going on? What's happening on the screen? It's too dark.
I love your analogy of the restaurant.
Exactly. It's like a piece of chicken. See old episode. But
so to me, it's like Marvel is kind of like Olive Garden. You know what you're going to get. You got it last time. You got it time before that. It's not bad, but you're still kind of excited for it.
Yeah, in a way. And actually, when we talked about Jonah Hill being cast in this movie, I was actually a little bit excited because I think he's a legitimately great actor. Like you said, jokes about Seth Rogen's going to play, Poison Ivy. I think he's kind of past that. That was something he did early in his career. And I think he is a very well-established actor. He's a very good actor.
He is a two-time Academy Award-nominated actor.
Yeah, Scorsese loves him. He's kind of like the anti-Marvel movie because Scorsese loves him.
Yeah.
But I was curious to see where they were going to take him in this movie. And this movie's been stuck into a big old rut for quite a few years now.
I have no faith in this film.
This movie's kind of passed on all these different directors. Ben Affleck was going to be in it, and he wasn't happy. Matt Reeves is directing now, and because he had that big Planet of the Apes movie that was fantastic, and he's signed to Warner Brothers probably for the rest of his life. And then all of a sudden, all these people were passing on it. Robert Pattinson got cast. I don't know what's happening with this, man. I don't know. I'm excited. I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm interested to see what this movie comes out to be. I have no idea where they're going to go with this movie. Apparently, originally, it was Batman fights his way out of Arkham Asylum, which sounds fun. And be something we haven't seen before. But
Zach Galifianakis says Commissioner Gordon.
See, I think he's a good actor, too. I think Jeffrey Wright, I think we have a photo of Jeffrey Wright, too. Jeffrey Wright's still in there. I think he's supposed to still play Commissioner Gordon. I think that's a good choice.
Oh.
I am sad that Jonah Hill passed on it, but hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get somebody else that is pretty cool, too. But any final thoughts on anything that we talked about today, Tyler?
Yes, I have one final thought.
What was that?
They should bring Danny DeVito back from the Batman, but do a Ryan Johnson, circumvent their expectations. Have Danny DeVito play Catwoman.
I'd watch it.
I know a lot of people who would probably give that movie all their money.
Heard.
If you need money, I'll give you money. I want to see this happen.
When's the last time you paid for a film, Tyler?
Oh my gosh, man. It wasn't this year.
Well, guys, do you think Tyler is a criminal that needs to be locked up for his pirating antics? You can leave a comment at facebook.com/studio67ncc. Or you can check us up on YouTube, youtube.com/NashComCollege, or any of that jazz. Same Instagram handle as the Facebook handle. But guys...
my pirate name is Fatbeard the Pirate.
That's just your name.
Yeah, Fatbeard the Pirate.
That's just that's just your club name. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, 120 frames a second, garbage imagery, obvious dialogue. Gemini Man?
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
Guys, welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac, the members only Anderson.
I'm Fatbeard the Pirate.
That's right. Guys, we saw a movie this week. At least I think we saw a movie this week. I already forgot about it. Tyler, what did we see this week?
Oh my gosh, what did I see this week? I don't want to say it was something to do with, it was Libra Man? No,
Gemini Man?
Jamil Man, that's what it was.
Jamil Man. That's right. So, Tyler, can you tell me a little bit about more Gemini Man?
It was not a good movie.
Well, gee, that really narrows it down, Tyler. Can you give me some more specifics? Why? What is the movie about?
It is about a assassin who wants to retire, but he gets cloned.
What does the clone do?
The clone tries to kill him, and then the clone's like, I am conflicted, and the clone ends up helping him attack the clone who is in a really bad position. So it was a really bad movie.
Okay. Well,
So-
Tyler, I think your cards are on the table.
See, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. Like, I had a hard time keeping up this movie. I fell asleep during like the 30 minutes in the middle, and the plot was all over the place.
Okay, so I take it you did not like this film.
I wouldn't say it that nicely, but yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Tyler, for that wonderful description. I also did not like this movie. I thought this movie was, as the French say, sucky.
I think I got eye cancer from this movie.
I don't think it was that bad. So I think we should kind of deconstruct why exactly we didn't like it. I did a quick flicks on a Friday. If anybody saw it and wanted to see a very, very condensed version of this kind of conversation that Tyler and I are going to have. But I'll kind of break down why I didn't like the movie with you, and you can tell me why you didn't like the movie too. I feel like first we should deconstruct the story. So we were talking a little bit before. You said that this feels like something from like the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said that this movie feels like something that was left in a desk drawer since 1993. And I looked it up, and apparently that is actually the case with this movie. This movie has been shopped around Hollywood for quite some time, and it tells you how old this movie is. Clint Eastwood was attached at one point. This feels like kind of Time Cop, True Lies era kind of filmmaking. Like, you know, like the really more simplistic kind of thing. This movie would have been a lot of fun with the Clint Eastwood in it.
No, it would have been really hilarious as if they had like Jean-Claude Van Damme in it and released it to VHS tape.
I'm sure that was probably the original plan. But so also, as much as this movie was shopped around, they finally decided on Will Smith, which to me, this movie felt like a big excuse to try to do this face effect with that they decided they were going to do, because this is a brand new face effect. This isn't like necessarily digital de-aging. It is, but it's a completely CGI face on Will Smith's face. It's still his performance, but they just change his face, and it looks pretty good. I mean, for the most part. I mean,
So-
obviously see my other review for the.
See, my
real
biggest
comparison.
problem with it was the way the camera was. You could it looked really like if he had used a different frame rate, it would probably not look so fake. But since man, it just looked too fake, man. The movement and everything, it was just.
It looks like when you put the flow. Like I think
The
we
slow
should
motion, yeah.
We should explain why exactly we're saying this. This movie was shot at 120 frames a second. And in case you don't know what that means or why do you think that makes a difference, 120 frames a second is much, much higher than the cinematic rate that normally goes. Most cameras shoot at, like cinematic cameras shoot at 24 frames a second. Video cameras like this shoot at 29.97, which means 1 second of footage is 24 photos of what you're seeing. And that's what we're used to, you know? Anything higher than that usually looks like a video camera that you would get from the store, you know, that you have on your phone, or your phone shoots at 60. This is way higher than that. So it's a lot of frames, it's a lot of information, and it's almost like it's shot in slow motion, because when you play back at 24 frames a second, it's going to play very, very slow, but they speed it up.
It was not exciting. It hurt my eyes, actually. I feel like I think I got eye cancer now.
Well, it looks like if
Sue.
you've ever watched a soap opera, it's kind of how it looks. It's really smooth. It's almost like you put the flow motion on your TV.
It was like a British television show.
It looks like a cheap video camera is what it looks like.
Absolutely.
It's almost like it's not because I think it's a bad image, but it's like too much information for you to process. It's just too much going on, too many frames. It makes you dizzy, makes your head hurt, and it also looks like cheap. It looks like phony, and that was part of the reason why it didn't look as realistic, because it was like flowy and it looks sped up, and it looks like when you're watching sports with flow motion on. And also, this movie was directed by Ang Lee, because I believe it's fitting because we both left very Ang Lee about this movie.
Oh, I was very angry about this movie. Absolutely. That was good. You can shoot me racist jokes.
Oh, that's not racist. That's just the name. But Ang Lee has directed some good films in the past: Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Life of Pi, which is short in my house.
Oh goodness, that was a good joke. You're talking about good jokes.
Yeah.
Quality joke, Tyler. That was good. That's one you've said all day. And he also directed Brokeback Mountain. So he's directed some stuff that like people have liked in the past. So.
The Hulk. No, don't get that. That was a bad movie.
That was actually the Ang Lee thing was something from the Screen Junkies Hulk thing. I can't take that as my own joke.
Oh.
But he's an interesting director. I thought this movie was really on a script level. It was really bland. It was really generic. Really obvious and on the nose. And also, somebody pointed this out to me. Will Smith's character doesn't curse. Does he? He doesn't really curse in any of his movies. I think that's something he's always had in his movies. I kind of respect that. I kind of like that.
He never rapped in it. He never cursed in his rapping, so imagine he wouldn't curse in his movies.
I like that about him. He's Will Smith, cool guy. You're a good guy. As the story was, who cares about the story? If they were going to do something, I think the perfect person to do this with was probably Will Smith at this point in his career, because we all know what a young Will Smith looks like.
He had to fight the Fresh Prince in this.
And even in this movie, he was from Philadelphia. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie just is not up to snuff for what it's trying to do. It feels like self-important. I think I should get into some very specific, some minor spoilers, and this is how I'll
Right,
end
you
it.
put a lot more thought in this film than I did.
Well, man, I mean, you gotta let everybody know kind of what we thought about it. At the beginning of the movie, this also, David Benioff, the writer and showrunner of Game of Thrones, was the writer of this film. I don't know if you knew this. It just shows you the caliber of writer this guy is.
Well, let me guess, was he the last season writer?
He was the showrunner since the beginning. But
Oh,
he's
man,
the one,
wow.
I mean, he was the writer of the last few episodes that went off the books that people hated. So there you go, kids. He just touched up the script more. This script's been floating around for a long time. This script was probably generated by a computer. But they try to muddle up the simplest of motivations. I didn't understand that. And also, spoilers in case you don't know what a Gemini Man is. This is the last thing, promise. There's a scene at the end where, basically, as his name is in the movie, Junior kind of joins forces with the other Will Smith and tries to kill Clive Owen's character. And it's revealed that there's another Will Smith, a clone, that doesn't feel any emotions or pain. Why didn't you send him? Why did you send the one with emotions? If you knew he was going to mess up, you knew he was like a person that felt conflicted. And also, he had like a weird robot-y persona. He's not supposed to be a robot in this movie, is he? He's just supposed to be a person. It would have been cooler if he was just regular Will Smith. Instead of like this, he talked like I was a computer program. This was a little odd. I'm like, it didn't make any sense. They muddled the simplest things. Anyway, this movie sucked. 3.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow, you got a better score than I was going to.
I'll give it kudos for the technical side.
Well, I didn't like about this film was I fell asleep during this, how boring it was during the middle part of it.
Okay, well, what do you give it? We got to end the show.
I was going to go my rant. You ran through my rant.
Okay, well, go. You didn't say you wanted to do a rant. You said you were done talking about it.
I didn't even say I was done.
You got a minute and a half.
Oh, it was horrible. It was boring. The acting was some of the acting was it was sketchy on that part. The special effects. I think I woke up when a van exploded, and I was like, where is Wong in it? Where's Wong?
Benedict Wong's in this movie, and also Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's from
she is from Rocky Mount.
Yeah, just go down the road and you'll see Winstead all over the place.
I get a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10? I'm probably going to bring mine down to like maybe a 2.5 out of 10. This movie sucked. It's only that high for the technical aspect. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I know we got to end. You can leave a comment if you would like at facebook.com/studio67ntc. We promise we read them, especially you guys all across the world. We really do appreciate you all watching. And leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And let us know what you want us to talk about next. But next week we are reviewing Zombieland 2 Double Tap. So we'll see how that is.
I double tapped that movie.
I'm
ready for it.
I'm not very interested in it, to say the least, but I'm interested to see.
Dan Aykroyd's going to be in it.
Yes, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is Tyler met that guy, supposedly.
Yes, I did.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is
Not
Isaac.
supposedly, I did beat that guy.
Supposedly. Guys, my name is Isaac, the members only Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Stay lovely. Have a
Tyler.
good rest of your week.
Fat Beard the Pirate.